Good morning, everybody. Glorious morning, sun is shining. Welcome to the Eat Well Week for the virtual village hall for the Royal Voluntary Service. I'm Mike, better known as Big Mike. Today I'm going to give you a small taste of Barbados, big taste of the Caribbean with one of our true home authentic dishes, Bajan brown stew chicken. I almost forgot the name, so it goes to show you. But this is something that we will typically have home. It's easy, it's tasty, and we're going to wrap it up all in 30 minutes. Hopefully you can all see me okay. As I throw the ingredients into the pan, I'll be pressing chat so that if you have any actual questions. But here we go, a small taste of Barbados, big taste of Caribbean, and a whole lot of fun. So, hopefully you guys have seen your ingredients, but I'm starting off with some chicken oyster fries. Now, I've not seasoned mine, purely based on fish show that we have here, but generally, as a norm, I would have seasoned this overnight so that the flavor penetrates into the actual chicken, and it's a boom flavor when you all put it all together. So hopefully you can see this. So I'm going to start here by throwing on my my actual sauces, and you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm throwing on my blackened Cajun seasoning. So that's about 3 tablespoons of this. And a couple of tablespoons of soya light. Yeah, it just helps you mix it all in and just gives you that really good flavor. Hopefully you can see all of this. Now I'm going to give that a good stir through. That's why I'm wearing these blue gloves. I'm not trying to show off. And as I was saying earlier, as a norm, I will do this overnight so that it just penetrates into the meat. Let's get that a good seasoning there. And this is a dish that just doesn't take long. It's full of flavour, but it's just so easy. So that is how quickly I have marinated that. As I said, if you do it overnight, it'll be a much bigger. Just excuse me, I'm just going to take off my gloves for this one. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully you haven't missed me too much. Okay, now I'm using olive oil for this. Nice and healthy, a lower actual burning point, but perfect. We are going to just char off this actual chicken before we add in all of the actual ingredients. So that's it. Hopefully you can see me. Just now I'm just going to quickly let this come to the heat, and then we'll start braising off our piece of chicken. I love to cook with tongs. I just find it easy. So if you have any questions, please fire them in. And this recipe can be done also with breast. It doesn't change the flavour, just that I use the oyster 5 because they tend to be a bit more moist, a bit more actual juicy. But if you like breast, you can exchange your oyster thighs for the actual breast. All right, so really, we don't want that much oil, even though it is olive oil and it's extremely good for us. So I'm going to just test to see if the oil has reached the required temperature. Just do it a second more, or 30 seconds more. I hope you're following on this now. I really do. Whilst that's heating through, I'm sure that we all have the recipes here, but I've got sliced red onions that I have pre-prepared, your spring onions, some lovely colourful sweet peppers, thyme, fresh thyme, my chopped garlic. I always squash it first so that when we put it into the pan later, I always put this in relatively last, because the last thing you want is a piece of burnt actual garlic. It gives off that, well, it just doesn't taste nice. So it's nice and easy. And my fresh tomatoes. So as you can see, all the ingredients is fresh. This is good for you. This is Eat Well Week, and this is what we want to do. We want to show you Taste of Barbados and how well we actually eat. So I'm going to put this into the pan so I can just braise it off, our chicken. I will bring it back up to the camera so that you can see it. Just turn it down. Let me just move this out of the way. Now, hopefully you can see that from there, but I'll just bring it closer just to give you a peek of what's going on. Fries in straight away. I'm just going to get some caramelization on them. And one of the hints that I will give you is when you're doing this, leave enough space in your pan so that the ingredients can actually saute, cook. But if you squeeze in too much, it tends to sweat. Turn that up slightly. Hopefully this is nice and clear for you. But as I said, this is something that, especially if you've got it pre-prepped, you can go to work, come back home, and it's done in 30 minutes. It's one of my go-to foods, especially over this period of actual lockdown. It's easy, it's tasty, and it's just nice to come home to, you know what I mean? So here we are. I'm sure that we can hear this. I wish that you could actually smell it. It's already smelling good. Okay, as soon as the underside starts to caramelize, it starts taking on that brown, it's got that extra look to it, you know it's time to actually turn it over. But It is just that simple. So I'm now going to put this back, and whilst I'm cooking the other side, I'm going to start throwing in my onions. Then one large chopped red onion. I just sliced it evenly. Throw that in. And this is one dish that you don't have to worry about being too dainty and finicky with. You know, you just put it all in there, and then it all start to bind. I've got my spring onions. No. I love my fresh herbs. So what I'm going to do is, you're going to see, I'm going to stick this into the corner of my pan so that it can actually start to catch. But I put it all together as a clump because that way it would allow you to take it out without it intermingling with the whole meal. But you'll get that fantastic, fresh thyme taste. Peppers. Right. And I'm just going to get this in there. So you get all that great flavour from the chicken coming off this. Your veg is going to start with sauté. I like to put it underneath like that. I need the tomatoes and garlic to add in next. As you can see, it's bright, it's colourful, you can hear it popping, and I'm looking forward to eating this. So, just going to fry my tomatoes. Sorry, tomatoes. I'm going to fry my garlic. And my tomatoes. So let's do this open storm. Alrighty, alrighty. That's lovely. Now, I'm going to add, I'm to make sure that you can see, I'm not sure if you can see, but I'm going to add my tomato sauce just over the top. Now you can use canned tomatoes or tomato puree, but I found that this has in the perfect balance of sugar, the touch of vinegar. We're used to using this throughout the Caribbean, and it will give it that gooey texture. It will help to bind it all together. And give that a shake. stay with me. I'm just going to get a cup of boiling water. Now, I'm going to bring it back up to the camera. As you can see, this is already starting to actually break down. It's gained colour. I'm going to add some hot water into this so that it can just start to reduce down and all those flavours will start to melt out. Okay, this is how it's going to look now, but this is all going to reduce and get all tight, and it's just going to come together. Now, as we appear to have time, what I'm going to do whilst this is simmering down, because I haven't got too many questions that have come through, I'm going to do a quick rice and peas. Okay, so let me just grab a pot. Rice and peas. I use the basmati rice. I use the actual kidney beans. I usually have some bonnet pepper, or whatever. But I'm just going to do a quick and dirty whilst that's all coming together, and I think we have time for it. So just bear with me. Alrighty. Yeah, this is nice and easy. I'm just going to turn this down so that it's the simmer. And I've got 1 cup of pre-washed basmati rice. So that just goes in there. Now, a trick for perfect rice without the kidney beans is usually 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of hot water. Now, this will work for you whether it's in a steamer, whether it's on the stove, you will get perfect rice. Now, when you're using additional kidney beans, especially as the ones I'm going to use from out of the can here, there's additional fluid. So I would say the way to get the perfect rice, whether you're using a rice cooker or whether you're doing it on the stove, is to do 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of water for kidney beans, and another half a cup of water. So that way you've made up for the additional fluid that is going into your rice and peas. So I'm just going to turn this down. Once again, as you can see, this is just bubbling down and it's reducing. So let me get a cup of water. Okay, so I'm just going to throw this in there, 1 cup of water. For that, I put in a level teaspoon of salt. Just that. Get that going. And I'm going to use roughly 230 grams of actual peas. Right, all in there. And I'm not draining these because I want the colour from off the peas to turn my rice pink and give it that nice, Caribbean glow to it. Those. And just give that a stir so it's all evenly distributed. I've got my rice in there. It's all in there. I'm going to put in my extra half a cup of hot water. Just again, try not to back the camera. Give that another stir, have a peep in there. Now, all I'm going to do is throw in a chili pepper, which you don't need to burst, because the flavours will come out without all of the actual heat coming out from the actual pepper. So I'm just going to put this into the actual steamer as we're going to the next stage of our brown stew. Alrighty, rice is on, nice and simple. And now, I'm going to peek back at our brown stew. Give that a bit of a stir. Now, for me, it's almost like this is a curry without any curry powder in it. But it's, you know, it's got your tomatoes, it's got your peppers, it's got pepper in there, it's got your fresh thyme, your garlic, your onions. And you will soon find out that whilst it is traditionally known as a stew, a brown stew, it's very much more like a curry. So as you can see, our Bajan brown stew now has started to reduce down, okay? And this is good. But what I'm going to do is add in the ingredient that's going to take it to a next level. And that's as simple as 1 can of coconut milk. When this reduces down, you'll remember Barbados, you'll remember the sun, and it will make you happy. Just so you get a peek of what it looks like. Yeah, just throw that in there. Look at that. And give this a quick stir through. Just try and stir, because I can never be sure that anybody can see. Let that stir through like that. I'm going to turn it up. Let me just open this door again so that the air comes through. Okay. See there. As you can see, it's now got a nice orange colour, all that great flavours in there. And the nice thing about this dish is the ingredients level that I have given you is that it's spicy, but it's not hot and fiery. So you can always add in, make sure I'm in shot, you can always add in additional chili peppers to raise it to your taste. But right now, I would say that this is mild to medium It's children friendly, but because I always believe that spicy food isn't necessarily hot food. So this here, I believe you're going to get a sensational taste. You're going to get all the spices, and I either add my hot sauce in afterwards, or once again, I tend to rest a bonnet pepper in there, and I don't break the skin, because once again, it will actually give me flavour without giving me all that heat. And if I want that heat, break the skin, and then you'll get a big whoosh of that. So you can hear it bubbling away. That will beautifully reduce down. Let me just check on my rice. It's bubbling. Okay, there's my glasses. Are there any questions? Let me see if there's any questions in the chat room. No, that's fine. Okay. Alrighty. Now we are almost there. I need 5 minutes for that to reduce down, but what would I have it with? For me, I would traditionally have this with rice and peas, plain rice. I quite like a mango salsa or a light coleslaw, so that it just all binds together. Let me see. I can see something's come up in the chat room. Let me see. Okay. I've just been told I'm not clicking on the right bits. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to see if I can see the comments. I can see the chats. Aha. Ah. Aha. Now, I have to apologize, right? Okay. Just keeps going out of shot when you're showing anything to the camera. Oh, wow. Okay, there have been a few questions and comments, and I sincerely apologise. I did not go into the actual comments. But first things first, I mean, someone asked me about blackened Cajun seasoning. It's very easy to actually make. You can purchase it in actual some shops, but if you just get an all-purpose seasoning, and if you add black pepper to that. So for this recipe here, whereas I use 3 tablespoons of Cajun seasoning, I would have added 1 tablespoon of crushed black pepper. Let me go back into the chats again. Comments. Okay, I've got some questions about the cuts of chicken. You can use boneless chicken, you can use chicken with the bones in. I prefer the thigh element of it because I find it more moist, but you can use breast. But I also do this with a leg and thigh or any other pieces. It's really just a case of I'm too lazy to have the bone. But when you have the bone in it, you get that extra umami flavor from the stock. Okay. All right, now someone says that they cannot eat spice. Now, this is a spice recipe, but when you say you can't eat spice, if you could explain that further, but you could do this with removing the blackened Cajun seasoning, okay? And then you can still season your chicken. I would use a touch of salt, a touch of black pepper, because you're still going to get all the great flavor that's coming through from the onions, the thyme, the garlic, all of that. So whilst it won't, it basically, it would refer it more back to a stew than it would be an actual curry. Okay, let me go in here and just check one more time. Okay, I've just been asked, do I need 5 bulbs of garlic or 5 cloves? It's 5 cloves of garlic. I will apologise for any typo that I've actually put in there. I am a big garlic fan, but one of the tricks is if you crush it slightly and then actually chop it up, it will burst into your stew much better. Okay, and also don't be afraid to slightly freeze your garlic, because it makes it easier to actually crush it so that you can just chop it up afterwards. We just have one more look at those. Okay, I've just been asked about the coconut milk. Now, the coconut milk stroke cream, okay, I really believe it pushes the Caribbean boundaries. It takes me home to Barbados, but also it thickens it. Now, you could use a cream, or you could use flour, or you could use cornmeal, but there is actually no need. A good can of coconut cream poured in there will bind it all together, okay? And as I'm about to show you here now, because I'm pretty sure that it's all coming together, you can start to see that. Now, I'm going to bring this into shot because a few of you said that you cannot see it, so hopefully you can see how this is coming together here. Okay, I know you don't want to see me, but I've got to hold it. Okay. Now, ideally, I'm going to just go back in the chat room, and I said, please excuse me. Okay. Yeah, someone summed it up saying that it looks lush, and that's what we want. That's what we want. And even though I look slightly hot, this is a great summer dish. You can do it in half an hour. Everything's going to be pre-seasoned. You can make it as spicy or you can make it as less spicy as you like. As I said, I like putting together a mango salsa with some avocado pear and a bit of lemon, whatever in there, a bit of rice. Get your friends over, shake a rum punch, whatever, and boom! I think that is perfect for your summer food. I'm just going to one more chat in the actual chat room. Make sure. Okay, I'm just going to go and pop and have a look at the rice. Keep an eye on my brown stew for me. I don't want it to burn. Alrighty, I can see that my rice has about 5 more minutes. I am using a rice cooker. Now, a rice cooker is easy, but also I'm a traditionalist as well. The measures that I gave earlier for doing a perfect rice, okay, will apply whether you do it in your rice cooker or whether you do it on the stovetop. It's something that's been drummed into me by my mum. It does not fail. 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water guarantees you perfect rice. If you're using peas that have in water that you're adding, do 1.5 cups of water, your 400 grams of your kidney beans, and then another cup of rice. And then you, no matter what you do, okay, I stake it on you, you will get perfect rice. Let me just check the chat room. Oh gosh, that's gone. Oops. Oops, sorry. Aha, I'm not sure what I've done wrong here, but I'm trying to get back in the chat room, so just bear with me a second. Aha. Okay. Yes, Debbie, definitely try it for your Caribbean themed weekend. Let's say it goes well with any bright salad. And as I said, this is nice, tasty food. This is a Bajan authentic dish, a Barbadian authentic dish, and we have it all year round, not just in the actual summer period. As we're turning around here, because I know we're coming to an end, so let me just show you. Okay. Ideally, I may have let it reduce further, so I'm going to bring it up to the on camera. In 37 minutes, we have done a Barbadian brown chicken stew, okay, with a touch of coconut. It is really that easy. I know you can hear it pop. I know you can see it. I know you can't taste it. But what I would say is small taste of Barbados, big taste of the Caribbean, okay? And I have loved doing this. Now, everything that I've got here, and I'm going to put this down because it's getting slightly heavy, is the virtual village hall, and Royal Voluntary Service. These will all be on YouTube, and it will be on your Facebook as an actual video. So if you've missed anything here, you can go and check on there. Also, if you go on Facebook, I will look out for any comments, any questions that you have to ask, any accompaniments, you know, because as I said, I love repping Barbados. I love providing you a very simple, eat well meal, okay? And after being locked down so long, you deserve it. So, and I said, fire any questions at me. I'm just going to spread and see whether the rice is actually ready there for you. But just give me 1 second. Now you hear that hissing sound. I'm just letting the steam out of my rice cooker. Wave if you can see me. I'm just making sure. And also, if you want to find me, we're on www.bigmikescalypsokitchen. That is my actual website. That will point you to the hashtags. You know, we are a Barbadian flavour, and I think why not? Why not? You've had all the other tastes, okay? Let's bring Barbados to the fore. But most importantly, this is about eating well. As you've noticed here, we've only used fresh products. We've only used olive oil. We've used coconut water. There isn't that much salt that goes into this. This is about big flavours, okay, handled well, okay, and having a cook at home, because we've all been experimenting, and now I think this is our journey, okay. One of the few positive things that come out of all of this is that we've had a chance to experiment and do all these things that we didn't have time to actually do. So I'm going to give you one more peek, and as you can see, this has now come down. Wave at me if you can see it, but you know, that's it. It's nice and easy. I'm very proud. Small taste of Barbados, big taste of the Caribbean. Throw your questions, and this will easily feed 4 people, without a doubt. Okay, and it's getting heavy. And even if you don't eat it all on the same day, sits in the fridge. One thing that I would say is any form of curry or stew, it always grows in flavour. So if you haven't eaten it all, make it airtight, pack it in the fridge, okay, and the next day the flavours will be bigger. Let me just have a few more questions in the chat. Okay. Thank you very much. Look, I'm going to have one more people at the rice, see if I can show it to you before I get thrown off air. Love everybody for joining in. Thank you for looking after the Royal Voluntary Service. Thank you for looking after yourself, for eating well. You know, this is the virtual hall. We're here. We're a charity. We're all together. You know, and the truth is, nobody should go hungry in the UK. Okay, but I'm going to just see if I can grab the rice. It's testing me. Let me see if I've got enough time. All right. I might be thrown off by the time that comes out, but thank you for all your great comments, and everybody stay safe, okay? Stay safe, and please hit me up. Any questions about Caribbean food? I would love to share it. You know I love to talk, but most importantly, I love to feed people. We love to cook, and I think there's nothing better. I've just been asked, can you use fish instead of chicken? Yes. You know, you can adapt this with either a boneless whitefish. You could even use haddock. Okay. Anything like that will mix very well with these flavors. So you don't have to use meat. And as a vegetarian option, I use green jackfruit because it gives you that meaty taste, but it's good, healthy fruit, okay, even though it is an actual veg. But that is also a great alternative. Yes, Boo, you're totally right. I've just been explaining that you can use it with a nice firm fish, and you could caramelize it off just the same way. The only thing is, what I would do is I would seal off my fish. I would take it out because fish tends to cook much faster, and put all my other ingredients in there, reduce it down, and then add my fish back in so that my fish doesn't break down and actually vanish into all of the sauce. And it looks like my rice is ready, so I'm going to grab it. Here we go, here we go. I'm just going to stir. Ooh, it's hot. Just before you go, I haven't had a chance to plate, but can everybody see this? Literally, as we spoke, yeah, our rice and peas is in there. It's still moist, it's still fresh, and realistically, all I would have done is just leave it on a low heat for another couple of minutes, and it just would have cooked better and better and better. But literally, so I can say to you, we've got our Barbadian brown stew, okay, with your peppers, your onions, your garlic, your you have your oyster fries and all your onions with your coconut milk. Your rice and peas, and all I would have done is put the rice and peas on a plate with the actual brown stew chicken, and voila. And if I have enough time, I'll just do you a quick plate. So you're going to know what I'm going to be having for lunch today. So just quickly grab that. I'm not sure how much you can see, but I'm just going to do this nice and quickly. Plate that up like this. Just like they do on TV, okay? Big mics, brown stew chicken, rice and peas, ready for lunch, whilst we're talking, whilst we're having fun, in the sun. Think of it as you have a big plonk of salad on there. Boom, flavour's fantastic. Here we are. So once again, stay safe. Thank you very much for your time, and look after the virtual village hall. Eat well, okay? And it's royal, and it's the Royal Voluntary Service. You'll find all of this on Facebook. You'll find all of this on the actual YouTube, so you could actually rewind it, and that way you don't even need to actually see me. You can just see the food. So thank you very much. I really appreciate all your time.